DNA.
Okay, have we got something interesting for you?
Yeah. So I walked into her classroom and said, "Hey, how you doing? Haven't seen you all day." And I said,
Guess what I'm going to be teaching tomorrow?
"You should come film me, right? I'm doing a DNA extraction."
And
you said,
and I was like, "Why? Why should I come film you? What's the purpose of this?"
And then I realized it's just like a little cookbook lab, which I actually hate. And it caused me to like pause for 2 seconds and think, I want to do inquiry. So, because I even had an essential question on there. How do scientists extract DNA? And then I proceeded to tell them how to do it. Well, what would it look like? I mean, this is what, I don't know. It's just through our conversation, I'm like, it dawned on me that I was taking the learning out of the students' hands.
Yeah, and so we bring this up because we are just posted last week about professional development, and all of a sudden it occurred to us, well, it's been occurring to us for a while, but like it hit us again as we've been talking about this, and she comes in and says, hey, look at what I'm going to be teaching, and I'm like, well, why? We are learning through this process so much. This vlog has been a professional development for us.
Some of the best PD I've ever done, if not the best.
Probably, yeah. I would say for sure for me, but I haven't been teaching as long as that.
So before I can even think about how to change how I want to do, I can't get any feedback from her because she's already thinking about how she's going to change her lesson for the next day.
So she goes, okay, so if I make this more inquiry driven, I should do this, that, and the other. And at this point, my mind is like totally, I'm not even listening to her anymore because I'm thinking, how do I do that tomorrow too?
So then we started talking about hers and like, okay, so what's the problem? What's the essential question? And we totally helped each other revamp our class for tomorrow.
Totally
Huge
changed.
risk. Totally changed it.
And you made all these worksheets and everything, and you're like gonna trash them all.
Yep.
Sorry, all the trees out there, but you know,
and
it's
go
for
reorganize
the
my room. I have to completely reorganize it.
So we'll show you what we're doing in my room because we're here right now, and then we're gonna go show you what the changes that we made in her room. Okay. So for my room, for Fridays are usually my assessment day where I say, tell me what you've learned for the week. But in that, I'm realizing in this very moment that maybe they're not going as deep as maybe they could if I'm already giving them the question, and then they're just telling me the answer, even though it isn't a standard, like it's not a test, they're not filling any blanks or anything like that, it's all out of their head. Maybe I'm not asking them to go as deep as they can now. Maybe at the beginning of the year that wasn't the case because it was a totally new concept, but we're at the end of the first semester.
Right.
And as I'm talking this through even on the camera, they're ready for more.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
they are.
How do I make this more inquiry based? Okay, well, the lesson for the week was, actually it's right here on my board. How do ministers from the North and South use the pulpit to advocate their stance on the Civil War? So that's the question. And then we thought, well, how do we make this more inquiry based?
Right.
So check this out. Yep. I'm over here on the board. We're coming over here. And I'm going to rewrite this and make it look better with my handwriting. But instead, the kids are going to come into the class tomorrow, and the question is, how is the pulpit being used today to advocate a political stance, just like how it was being done during the Civil War? So I'm going to give them 40 minutes to collect data. That means they can go and talk to people, they can go research online, whatever it is they want, and then 15 minutes to write your findings. So like authentic literacy, right, is about reading,
writing, and speaking.
Yeah. So they'll be doing all three of those things tomorrow.
Yep.
And so look how I totally revamped my classroom in like, what, 10 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah. Just, again, collaboration. All we did was out of the blue just start talking about it and like why we do something, and amazing things came out of it.
Okay. So let's go check out her room and the changes that she just made.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we filming? Okay.
We're filming.
So the great essential inquiry question right there, and then proceeded to give them all the steps with great questions.
But you're basically doing all the work for them.
Yeah. So I think what I've decided to do, I'm only going to give them the thoughts questions. Where's DNA located? What are the barriers? How can those barriers be broken? DNA is soluble in water. What would we need to do in order to make it undissolved so we can see it? That's all I'm going to give them. And then say, here are the tools you need in order to make that happen. Figure it out. Holy cow.
So me, I'm not a science teacher, right? And I haven't been a science student in a really long time. So I'm just thinking to myself, okay, I walk into Miss Chandler's classroom, there's strawberries and tools on the table, and you tell me extract the DNA from the strawberries.
Go.
You want to talk about forcing my gears to start turning.
They have to think about what they know about cells in order to do it. So they should be able to do it.
Yeah. So there you go. There's a mini little lesson for us in terms of, and how about we'll film these classes tomorrow, and then that'll be a future vlog, and we'll see how it goes.
We're really excited to debrief this.
So professional development on the fly does not have to come in a formal setting.
Right
you
on.
could be doing something like this, talking with your colleagues, and all of a sudden just be like, I'm going to change things up for tomorrow.
Well, and that's what we should do. Healthy, flourishing people, that's what they do, right?
Yes.
They keep raising each other up.
Yep.
So, yay.
Okay, don't be afraid to try something new, even if it's for the next day.
Teacher shenanigans. They're so not
Look at
confused.
this. Look at that. They're like, what?
This is not what Fridays are usually like.
Hi.
Can I scoot on by?
Please. Read the board. Something different today. Not a normal Friday. Hello, gentlemen. Read the board. Different Friday today. We shall see how this goes. Okay, the class is yours. Your instructions are on the board. If you have questions for me, great. If not, go.
Want to take a picture of the question so you don't forget it? You can. Okay, let's see.
Happy hunting for responses.
Fine.
Go find some research.
They're all going to Phillips.
Good, that's a good source.
I was just going to
A
say,
good
I
source.
love that.
There's literally nobody in my classroom right now because I've told them that we're doing something different, which is what we had already, Chan and I had already talked to you guys about. How is the pulpit being used today to advocate a political stance, just like during the Civil War? Because we were this whole week looking at primary source documents from a Union sermon and a Confederate sermon and how those sermons were being used to push a political agenda. So they've got 30 minutes to go and find out. They can research online or they can go and talk to people. And then they'll be back for the last 15 minutes of class to write down their findings. So we'll see what they find.
Okay, so our question is, how is the pulpit today being used to advocate a political stance?
Ooh, interesting. How is it? I know a lot of churches are nonprofits, so I think they're probably nervous, and maybe should be, about getting political, because I think that could...
How is the pulpit being used today to advocate a political stance like during the Civil War?
Okay, so is the pulpit being used in some ways similar to the Civil War? I would say yes. But what's most important is what is biblically based.
It's Jesse and then Jackson, Jackson. So anytime there is...
How is the pulpit being used today to advocate a political stance just like during the Civil War?
Oh, this is a very deep question.
It came to paying taxes and other things that they questioned.
Learn more about God, and I do think that we should talk about like those issues, but I don't think that should become the main focus because I know it could probably be
Okay, so remember my intro yesterday of like, I'm taking a big risk. So this is my reset. So I gave them all the chemicals, okay? Gave them the pre-lab thought questions, okay? And then gave them all the tools that they could possibly need. So now I'm letting them get with whoever they want to work with. They can work alone in 2s or 3s. And now they're talking about what they think they're going to do. Okay, so they've thought through, all right, so we got to break down the membrane, we got to break down the wall. How are we going to do that? And now they have to just give it a try. I'm told them it's okay to fail. R&D is important, so we'll see what happens. What do you guys think your first step's going to be? And why? I don't know. Okay, you have to check out the ingenious ways in which they're mashing.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut off the stem part and then we toss it in and then we just mash it like a mortar and pestle.
Mortar and pestle, all right. Be careful, you have glassware there, right?
Yes.
So be careful. What is this device?
It's a screwdriver.
You carry a screwdriver around with you. A prepared young man.
We're cutting off the skin of the strawberries.
Okay.
We added alcohol to it, and then after that we put dish soap, and we saw that it like separated, and the alcohol was on top and dish soap on the bottom.
Yes.
Then
yes.
We got some of the juice, put this over, and like put it in.
Add a little bit more of the juice.
Yeah.
And then I can't do it.
Oh. Okay. You guys have to problem solve how to get it to clump a little bit so that you can pull it out. All right. I think we have it.
You should
Show me. Show me. Show me.
Don't touch it. Shut up.
Oh my goodness. So where is it? Where?
It was like on the top.
Yeah. So in what layer is it in?
Oh, I don't know.
Is it in the water layer or the alcohol layer?
The alcohol.
That is correct.
We need to use salt.
Whoa! Let's see. That's it! Yeah! They're doing it! Let's see. Oh, that's the stuff. It's white gooey snot. Awesome. Holy cow. Gobs and gobs of DNA. Of course you can touch it.
Yeah, then after.
Way to go. Way to persevere, guys. Strawberry flavored snot. Ew.
Yum.
Ew.
Okay, let's get a new piece.
Ewa? Ewa. Oh no.
I'm sorry.
We have a one die roll.
It's okay.
We call this an epic fail death die roll in D&D, right? Thanks for helping today, Amanda.
Yeah, of course.
So,
my pleasure.
How was this
Biology is
for you?
my favorite. Obviously, we had some groups who were able to do it through trial and error, so it was
cool.
super fascinating. I love the discovery aspect.
Yay! What did you think about Chandler just not giving you the answer? How was this?
It was actually really fun, and it was easy to, not like easy to figure out, but like over time we were able to figure out the steps. And it was good that you let us try to figure it out rather than just giving us the answer and us doing it and then the information just going on.
So is that an empowering thing, or made you feel really good about it?
It made me feel really good for us to figure it out.
Good. Yay!
It was good. It was fun. It was kind of difficult to figure out at first, but once we got it, it was a good fun.
Well, I think that at first we didn't like know exactly what we were gonna do, and then once we kind of got an idea, we went for it, and then we didn't like quite get it. So on Monday we're gonna redo it.
Okay.
We're gonna get it.
All right, and that's an okay process, right? And learning to be okay with that sort of thing. This is A, how life works, and B, this is how science works. Okay, cool. Great job, fellas.
I got to use this to stab this strawberry.
It was fun because we got to like go on our own, and anything we did, it didn't really matter if it was right or wrong. And we eventually.
Well, and there's like low risk here. It's not like we're using expensive items or unsafe items or whatever. It's interesting. You said fun. You said confusing. You said hard. But talk about the hard.
Not really knowing where to go first, like what step to do. So you kind of just have to try everything and then like.
This episode is titled, "You Should Not Write Your Lesson Plans in Blood."
That's exactly right. Here's why. Go back to the beginning of this episode. We filmed that in real time. We decided not to do our usual little intro because it already was an intro of itself. So in real time with authenticity, we were talking about, all right, this is why we decided to change our lesson. And so our gift to you, our holiday gift to you, is this invitation to challenge you to find someone to collaborate with and look at this 20-week collaboration between the two of us.
Crazy.
Has cultivated a way of thinking for the two of us, is that we're constantly talking about our lessons and elevating them. And so we were just thrilled to be able to present to you what the result of just a simple conversation. Hey, come film me. Why? And just that simple conversation.
I would like you to know that there wasn't an attitude behind it. It was just me thinking and editing it later, what would be the purpose of me so that I know what to look for while I'm recording. I didn't say it.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it that way. So our challenge to you all is, don't don't write your lesson plans in blood. Create margin where you can have conversations with people that you trust and can collaborate with.
In a matter of 10 minutes, we changed our classrooms up and we went home and it tried to sleep well.
Just so you know, it felt risky for me. And I'm someone who thrives in doing problem-based learning and so on.
Yeah.
But to take something that I had so well prepared and like I'm super organized, and then be like, oh yeah, I preach that chaos is good, some controlled chaos is good, but then to really let go and do that felt so risky.
Right.
But then you'd notice how jazzed the kids were when they succeeded. By the way, every single group succeeded.
Yes.
And that's not necessarily seen in the video.
Well, and how jazzed were we to see them get it and to thrive in this new situation? It made us excited, which is what, of course, we would like for you to have as well and to experience.
Yes, we have to be organized and have our lesson plans thought out. But there's something healthy about being in the moment and realizing that it can be changed up for whatever our kids need. Well, it's all about the kids, right?
It is.
So primarily, how can we best meet the kids' needs and and elevate their their depth of knowledge in whatever we're teaching.
So if you are truly having a student-centered classroom, you really are thinking about their needs and how you can best meet those needs in a teaching atmosphere. Sometimes changing things up at the last minute can make what you want to accomplish in that day so much better.
Serendipity.
And so much more successful for your students.
Getting into other people's classrooms has been super powerful for us, not just our 2 classrooms. We've been in a ton of classrooms, and watching what other people do has encouraged us and inspired us. So get out there, folks. That's the idea of driving your own professional development can be a powerful tool.
Absolutely.
Thanks for watching this whole first semester, and be prepared. We've got some things up our sleeves for second semester.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you guys, and don't be afraid to try something new. Don't write your lessons plans in blood.
That's right.
You can always change them, even at the very last minute.
That's right.
As long as it's good for your students.
Coolio.
Okay.
Be inspired.
Bye.